Hey there everybody, Mazarok here, and it is 2 o'clock in the morning. I just got back from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and I come back to a bunch of tuning all around Vengeance, Blood Decay, Bear, and Protection Warrior from a couple of days ago, mind you, but I do want to cover those quite a bit. This is actually my second try at this, because for some odd reason my recording software decided it was going to pick up no audio whatsoever, so since it's the time, I am going to be skipping some of the kind of non-crazy nerfs or anything like that, or buffs or whatever, and kind of talk of the most important ones. Starting off with Protection Warrior, but before we do get started, we are smashing that 5K sub goal. Thank you so much everybody for all the love and support. I do have t-shirts for sale. I got the Blood DK, I'm the healer now, Plate Tanks Do It Better, and I only do Dungeons Fully Erect, available in t-shirt, long sleeve, and hoodie. If you'd like those, get them on the Teespring link down below. Cannot do this without my patrons. Thank you so much for all the love and support. There's living documents, if that's something that you would like. See guides and written forms, and these are all updated, so whenever anything changes like this happen, I go and update those documents, aka living documents. There's a Twitch link down below if you wish to watch me stream, and of course a Discord link if you want to join a wonderful community full of great people, or just have a chat about anything you see here. So, Prot Warrior from a couple of days ago, Revenge and Thunderclap each got a very small nerf. Shield Charge is now off the GCD. On the GCD, sorry, this is actually the biggest one out of all of these. Shield Charge was off the GCD for a while, since all of Dragonflight beta, and in all honesty, it should have been on the GCD. It really just should have been. Like, okay. We do have quite a bit of Vengeance buffs and a significant nerf, so we gotta talk about these, right? Fiery Brand got an attack, a base buff to its attack power, the instant damage, and the dot damage. Shear and Fracture both got increased damage. Sigil of Flame, Soul Cleave, increased damage. We're only talking anywhere from 5 to 10% based on these things, except for the Fiery Brand base attack power buff that was actually more along the lines of almost 70%. Very big there, very good. That's actually going to help the Fiery Brand builds for Vengeance, so that's actually really, really strong. Frailty got a buff from lasting 5 seconds to 6 seconds per stack now, and this is actually a really, really good buff for them. I like where that's going. It's going to help kind of bring it, kind of make things easier to overlap a lot of Frailty stacks, but Vulnerability got nerfed by 50%. So, Frailty now increases all damage you deal to the target by 2 and 4% instead of 4 and 8%. This is actually a significant nerf, but it was also very easy to kind of overlap a lot of stacks with Soul Cleave and all of the, and really go crazy with it. This is actually going to push Vengeance more towards using Soul Cleave than it's going to be used Spirit Bomb due to Soul Fragment efficiency, right? Spirit Bomb is best used at 4 to 5 fragments, where Soul Cleave is always 2. So you're going to be able to overlap these vulnerability frailty stacks a lot more with Soul Cleave than Spirit Bomb. So there is going to be a new number where, like, if there's X many targets, Spirit Bomb, but if there's less than that, Soul Cleave. What that's going to be remains to be seen. I am looking forward to testing these. Spirit Bomb got a base buff, Sigil of Flames Frail, like everything really got a good, decent base buff to kind of make up for this. We'll see how hard this hits in testing this weekend. There is another buff with Soul Carver. Soul Carver did see an increase in attack power all around, with the dot being increased and the initial damage. This is a button that felt really, really lackluster in Mythic Plus all around. I did try testing it. Wasn't super great. Now I'm hearing this is really good for single target, but with we'll just have to see. Is this a button you're going to want to go after? Who knows? But big buffs for Vengeance, but also a pretty significant nerf. So we're going to see what's going on there. And then we have Blood DK. I really hope I'm not talking too fast for everybody here. Blood Boil got a nerf. Blood Boil got a buff. Blood Drinker, Bone Storm, Consumption. We're going to talk about Coagulopathy in a second. Marrow Rend, Perseverance of the Ebon Blade, and Rapid Decomp all got a small buff to their attack power and things like that. All good things. Coagulopathy actually did get a 5% increase per stack. So this is going to be a 150% increase in blood plague damage, as long as you can maintain this, which is going to be a whole lot easier to do in single target. But this also means that Umbilicus Eternus also does get a small buff vicariously through this, right? Blood Boil is great. Blood Boil is one of our best, AoE abilities. It's always high up there. Blood Drinker, I haven't really raid tested Blood Drinker yet. This is always where it's been significantly better, so I guess we'll have to see how this pans out. Bone Storm, I don't think this is going to be enough of a buff to run it. We need the runic power, and the only reason Bone Storm was being run in Shadowlands come later, like Season 3 and stuff, was as an RP dump. Well, we just had way too much RP and weren't taking damage. So I don't think this is going to be enough. I really don't. Consumption seen a big buff, and base attack power buff to Heartstrike, which is really, really good. Heartstrike is one of our main buttons that we press. It's one of our main rune spenders, and runic power generators. So all around, incredibly solid. Perseverance to the end of Ebon Blade. This is a little bit of a weak buff for what it is, because we don't really fish for Death and Decay procs anymore. We pretty much just always want to put it down because of Shattering Bone. Now, Shattering Bone did see an attack power buff, which is super sweet. I really like this. This is our highest damaging ability in Mythic Plus, and is really, really fun to play around with the double Death and Decays and everything, so it's nice to see this buff there. I know it's only 0.6%, but it's actually going to equate to about a 10% buff to Shattering Bone, which is really, really good. And Voracious did get nerfed. Now, this is to make up for the fact that Deathstrike, base, did not forget, actually got increased from 129 to 139% attack value. So Deathstrike is going to be hitting harder, is going to be healing you more with this buff, but the Voracious healing is actually going to heal you just a little bit less, which is, in all honesty, is fine. Honestly, it's really not a bad deal. I think we're fine. Guardian Druid. Dream of Cenarius. Now, this is the proc from regrowth that you get from taking non-periodic damage. You have a chance, and it'll heal for 200%, be instant, free, and castable in all forms for 30 seconds. This is actually really good for its self-sustain. I actually have to admit, that's actually really, really good for its self-sustain. You're going to want to put regrowth on your bear bars, guys. Yeah, this is really, really good. I actually like this. This is a really good change. We'll see how that works out. But Rage of the Sleeper. So on top of the 10-second, 25% DR, it now increases damage done by 15% and granting you 25% leash. I'm pretty sure this brings it to Shadowlands legendary status of Sleeper. So it's going to help, because it's also been brought down from 1.5 minutes to a 1 minute cooldown. This is going to add more defensiveness to Bear. This is going to add more damage, because obviously the 15% buff. All around, this is really, really big, but the problem with Bear isn't exactly... Well, the problem with Bear is so many things. That talent tree is still a shambling mess. Thrash doesn't do enough damage. Swipe is... Why is Swipe a thing? Make Swipe do something, please. Literally, I've been saying that forever. Just make Swipe do something. You have all of these talents for Thrash and Maul for some reason, and all of these things, but Swipe is just baseline terrible. But Rage of the Sleeper, let's get back on topic. Really, really good, really, really solid for Bear. This is a nice buff. Tooth and Claw. So auto attacks have a 20% chance to Empower Maul, stacking up 2 times. Empower Maul deals 40% increased damage and costs 100% less rage, aka free. Reduces the target's damage to you by 15% for 6 seconds. The problem with Tooth and Claw is where it is on the tree. So to be able to access this talent, you have to spend 2 points in critical strike increase for Maul, and that sucks. The tree is already very limiting in what you can pick in the middle anyway, and taking 3 points just to get a free Maul proc, which you really don't even want to press in non-AoE, you only really want to press it in 1 to 2 target scenarios anyway. The moment you're in an AoE, you kind of don't want to hit this too much. I could be wrong. This could change things for Bear, but I really don't think so. They're really focused pretty heavily on making Maul something, when I think they should make Swipe do something. But for 3-point investment just to try and get Tooth and Claw, I don't think this is going to be worth it for Mythic Plus at all. I think it'll be a good raid buff for sure. This single target scenarios or low target scenarios, this could actually be a really, really good pickup. But for, yeah, Rage of the Sleeper, good. Dream of Cenarius, actually really, really interesting. I actually do like this change, and it helps with self-sustainability and will help, you know, off healing and things like that. Really, really nice. I actually do enjoy this. I do have to say, you know, I don't think this is enough to take Bear out of D tier, but it's a start. What do you think of these buffs? What do you think of these nerfs? I think, like, right off the bat, final opinions, I think Vengeance is fine. The Prot Warrior nerfs are literally minuscule. Blood Decay buffs are really, really good. That's actually going to put them more with the average to above average. They were dealing below average, but really what the average was to what they were very, very close already. I think this is going to put Blood Decay up with the average to like slightly above average territory, which is solid. Solid. Bear, I think this is a step in the right direction, but there's way too much work on Bear to be good. I would have liked to see Brewmaster self-sustain buffs and Word of Glory buffs for Protection Paladin, but we get what we get, and if there are any, I will let you know as things go on. But again, thank you to my patrons for making this video happen at 2:15 in the morning, and have yourselves a good night and happy tanking.